everyone, today I'm going to go over Booksy versus Boulevard and see which one might work best for you given your needs and your preferences. So I'm going to start with one of my favorite Boulevard features, which is this front desk feature. Okay, so I love this front desk feature, although admittedly it may not be the best solution for every business. Now, if you have a medium-sized business and you are trying to scale while also keeping costs low, Boulevard is a great investment because of this feature alone, not to mention, of course, all the other features. Now, why is that? Because this basically serves the role of a front desk staff member. You can choose to employ a front desk staff member or have this feature just up and running, accessible to all of your stylists and other employees. So when you look at dates, let's see what we have for Tuesday, August 12th. It quickly shows you who is unconfirmed, people who haven't checked in for their appointments. Maybe you sent them a text to let them know, but they just never got back to you. Then you can look at who was confirmed. You can see whether you had any walk-ins that day, which clients arrived, and which clients were completed, had their service, and checked out. This, to me, can make it very easy to manage. You also have this phone function over here, so when people call in from any other platform, they see the business phone line, it's going to ring right here. You can answer it as soon as it rings. If they want to book an appointment, simple click over here, new appointment. Now, if it's someone who already has an appointment here, we're going to go with Sarah Connolly. So she's been calling in recently. Let's say she's going to book a new appointment. We're going to look for, she wants not a filler treatment, but there it is, the perfect derma peel. So she's looking for a chemical peel. And if this is something she has an esthetician she prefers, we can pick the first available or the one that she prefers. Maybe she really likes Ben. So we're going to pick Ben. We're going to add the booster because that's what we've discussed on the phone and she really likes it. So now we just view the times that Ben is available. Ben is available today at 1:15. So if she's available right now, that's great. But let's say she's on vacation and she knows that it won't be until middle of next week that she's available. Well, that's fine. We can still pick morning, afternoon, and then preview that time. It'll pop up over here. We can see what his calendar looks like and see that Ben has that time right there for Sarah Connolly's derma peel and her booster. And once we're ready, we just save it. There's that booking confirmation. We can complete it. We can edit any details if we need to. Maybe she wants to add that card that's on file. We send her a confirmation. The booking is complete. Very simple. Now that does lead me to this calendar function. I love the calendar layout because it is designed in a very clear color-coded fashion. Each staff member gets their own color associated with their profile and with all of their appointments. If I want to just book someone right now, I know that Lisa is going to be here at 12. I can just block that time or make a new appointment. Same thing pops up. Very easy to manage. So I'm going to pop back over here to Booksy and look at their functions. So you can see here that their calendar, just in my opinion, is kind of blech, just boring. Over here, lots of easy to digest information for multiple staff members. Over here, and more importantly, the layout is different. So you can see that the time slots like this, and we do have the one employee, so it looks like this, much like those notebooks that you would use to practice your calligraphy as a child, or in 4th grade when everyone presumably had to learn cursive. That's what these lines look like to me. So I just almost want to just trace my cursive letters here. So you can see this schedule and I can click on the same thing, right? Add time reservation, new appointment, add time off. So new appointment, let's look up that. We're going to fill in the details right here. So let's add a new client. We're going to say fake phone number, name, Sarah Johnson, sarah@johnson.com. And that is their fake information. We're going to add them. Oh, invalid phone number. Let's see if it adds it this way. Okay. So now that we've added Sarah, we see here that we can choose the service. Let's say an all over color. Sarah wants to change her color. You could see that it automatically adjusted the spacing for the time slot based on the service. So what you have here is a slightly different design in terms of how this functions, right? So you noticed that it reserved in small increments. So if I click over here, we're going to just save Sarah right there. If I click right here, it only does a 15-minute slot when you click. So if I want to add a new appointment, actually let's change that time frame. So I'm going to start right here. I want to add a new appointment. So now we're going to add a different client. This one is going to be Tina Sarah's sister. So we're going to add her, and it automatically put her right there. But we don't know what her service is. We have no idea how long it's going to take. So let's say she wants full highlights. That's $200. Well, now we have a problem because now they've overlapped. So what it does is let you know that there is a scheduling conflict. So you can keep that scheduling conflict as is, or you can just boop, move it over here, right? So that's a function that is fun to play with if you like clicking and moving boxes, and it does show different colors for different services. This just comes down to personal preference in my mind. There's nothing inherently better or worse about it. Personally, I do like the way that Boulevard does all of these appointments. I can see that this is a sculpture treatment. Over here is laser hair removal consultation. Over here is a weight loss treatment. Over here is facial service. But they're all the same color because they're all the same staff member. By comparison, each service has a different color. So those are some slight differences in terms of how you book appointments and how everything works. Obviously, you can see up front, Booksy does not have that same comparative front desk feature. So as I mentioned, this is really great for small to medium-sized businesses that are looking to grow. Booksy just doesn't have that. So another key feature we're going to go over here is clients. So when you see the quick Tina Johnson, right? We clicked on Tina, it pulls up the appointment, and then Tina over here. There's very little information. And that's not because Tina's new. It's just because there isn't a lot here. You can add a single note, visible to staff only. You can also add any allergies, visible to staff only. But that's really it. So in terms of client management, you don't really get a whole lot from Booksy, especially when you look at these client sections here. Now, by comparison, if I go over here to clients, there's still not a whole lot here. We have appointments, no-shows, cancellations, last visit, total revenue. We have her basic contact information. We can add some photos, add a few quick notes, and any information about products or past payments, as well as any forms they may have filled out. But as you can see, it's still kind of an uninspiring layout. A little clunky, a little small. All of these details are quite tiny in comparison to the amount of gray, empty space that is completely unused over here. So in my mind, that's just kind of a design flaw that doesn't really give you good support for managing your clients in the most successful way possible. And of course, this platform has to be supportive of every touch point. It has to help you run your business before, during, and after appointments. And you can see that the interface isn't very successful in my mind. Now we pop over here to Booksy by comparison. To Boulevard. So compared to Booksy, this brand here, it reflects your business. It makes everything easy from start to finish. So as I said, Booksy doesn't really support every touch point, but Boulevard does. So if I'm looking over here at Eldridge, you can already see that this is a cleaner, better layout. I click on that name and up pops this very comprehensive client profile that makes excellent use of space. I cannot stress that enough. If I'm busy, I need to be able to see quickly these color changes that differentiate very important sections of my client information. This has no real color, so nothing pops. If I'm quickly trying to step over here and check on something in between appointments, and I need to be able to see if they have any photos, a quick glance doesn't show me the photo tag. There's very little here that draws the eye. Boulevard very much draws the eye. I can see so much here, and there's a much better layout up here. Files for forms they may have filled out, a gallery with pictures if we need to add pictures, forms and charts that they've done, products they've purchased, packages they've purchased, memberships they have. And even with all of these, you see these payment methods make very good use of these bright sections here that truly juxtapose the otherwise bland background in a way that draws the eye. So that is a small but very significant aspect to the efficacy of this user interface that I just absolutely love. When it comes to other features, okay, I'm gonna pop back over here to this message center. I love this aspect of Boulevard. As I said, it's there to support you from start to finish, from before the appointments, during the appointments, and after the appointments. And a big part of that is this message center. Here, I can automatically send those confirmations for appointments. If a client responds to me via text or via email, it's all going to come back right here. I'm going to be able to see what they sent. If I need to tell Rosalind, hey, you left your credit card, I can. If she wants to change because let's say we have a style conflict, I can ask immediately right here, and she will change. If someone wants to reach out, I can see if, we have time for them. All of this right here, open, closed, very easy. Someone might say, hey, I'm on my way, but I'm just looking for parking, and I can quickly type back, oh, we have parking down on the corner of Main and 32nd, so they know exactly where to go. Booksy has this kind of clunky inventory, but doesn't have anything here for talking to your clients. There's just nothing. You can set an appointment, you can handle checkout, you can save their information, look at your personal inventory, handle marketing, gift cards, report generation, staff management. But as you can see, there is nothing similar. So they are lacking that front desk feature and this message center. So, it really comes down to personal preferences. Which of these features are more important to you, and what are you willing to pay for? I mean, there are so many other things that you can compare. Customer service and onboarding. Booksy does not have a good reputation for either, whereas Boulevard gives you onboarding specialists, real people who work with you to help you better understand how all of this works, where you can look for reports, how you can generate summaries versus comprehensive reports, how you can manage your staff and your services. And that leads me to another area I really like here. So with Boulevard, you can see you add your services, you can add categories and add services, and it will automatically put them in this scheduling order. So this is an order that puts preferences in place no matter what your client books. So if you have a client who booked a facial and a massage, and they're just adding things to their cart, scheduling it and checking out, Boulevard will automatically put them in the right order. Obviously, they can't have a massage after their facial, or they'll smush their face and that'll be painful. So it will automatically set up the schedule in the right order using this information. Booksy's layout for staff management is just not quite the same. You can see here there's not a lot of resources for inventory, or for services, sorry. There is for inventory, but mostly your services have to do with memberships, gift cards, and packaging. So this might be a good option if you desperately need something in a different language, a language that isn't often supported with other options. Booksy might also be better if you are a small independent stylist and you don't have a big med spa that you are managing, and you don't have a lot of employees that you are managing, and you just need something that is relatively inexpensive and helps you manage your personal inventory so you know when to contact Wella to order more products, and of course keeping track of a personal schedule. Whereas Boulevard is definitely meant to be a comprehensive solution for bigger businesses, scaling businesses with a focus on incorporating all of their services into one area, managing things like a front desk feature, communication, marketing, payments, and of course building out those customer relationships by maintaining good client profiles. So those are the main points that I think differentiate these two, and it really comes down to where your business is now and where you want to be.